Hello, Badger Yogis. I'm here to just give you a quick review of the four main concepts that we have worked on this first quarter in yoga, and to encourage you to spend some time over the next week thinking of personal examples of these concepts, because that's what we're going to be asking you to write about for your written assessments as your midterm at the end of this quarter. So the first one is very much important to everybody's lives. It is the example that we talked about. Sorry, I'm gonna go get it. Of your mind constantly being whirling, twirling, right? These are the chitta vrittis, this gold dust, the thoughts that are always moving in your mind. And the first definition of yoga is yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. And even in the time that it just took me to chant this classic definition, this representation of the chittavrittis, the movements in consciousness or the mind, is settling. And so this is Patanjali's classic definition of yoga. So some things to think about are, how do you calm your mind? How do you notice that your chittavrittis are a little wild and that you need to do something to help nirodha, or settle your consciousness or your mind? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. The next big concept, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. This is, again, one of the most important philosophical attitudes of yoga, those who practice yogi, which is that all beings have the right to happiness, and all beings want to experience a sense of freedom or peace of mind. So some good things to contemplate in terms of this idea. Why do we ask that all beings experience happiness and freedom? Why not just ourselves, right? Why does it matter if others experience freedom and happiness? Right? Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. This was the experiential part of that idea when we taught it in class, was when we did the metta meditation and wished for freedom and happiness for a variety of different beings. Okay? So that's something to contemplate in terms of thinking about this concept. Then stira sukham asanam. Your connection to the earth, your posture, your pose, your asana should be both strong, steady, stable, and joyful. Sukham, right? Sweet, centered. So, of course, we practice the asanas together almost every day. And Patanjali used this sutra to describe to us why it's so important to maintain a positive attitude and to keep working at our own individual strength. Stira sukham asanam. And then the final main concept that we've been studying together this quarter, Abhyasa Vairagyam Tannirodha. Practice over a long period of time without interruption and with a joyful attitude, as well as letting go of when we might receive the fruits of our practice or our actions, is the two-step way to achieve nirodha, or that calming of the mind. Abhyasa vairagyam tannirodha. So this is a little bit more in-depth explanation of how Patanjali is suggesting to us that it would be of benefit to settle our mind. He says that it's critical that we keep up our practice, whether we feel good, whether we don't feel good, whether we're inspired, whether we're happy, whether we're sad. The maintaining of a regular yoga practice over a long period of time without interruption and with a sense of joyful dedication, as well as not getting attached to when we might be able to bind, when we can stay in balance, holding onto our toes, when any of this hard work that we do might actually happen. And he says that if you want to experience a settling of the mind, you have to have these two qualities, right? Like two wings of a dove, right? That's how you're going to experience peace, liberation, freedom in your mind. So again, be ready to explain these four main concepts that we've been studying this first quarter by the last week of the quarter. I'm going to step out of the way here for a moment and just say them to you one more time in Sanskrit. Yogash Chitta Vritti Nirodha Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Stira Sukham Asanam Abhyasa Vairagyam Tannirodha. So make sure you're working on memorizing the sequence that your teacher has gone over with you. Make sure you take some time to contemplate these really important concepts from yoga. And we all three look forward to both watching you practice on your own and reading your interpretations. Om Shanti.